Now, we want to spend a little bit more time figuring out what is truth. And we noticed in our review that truth is a key concept in understanding what constitutes a sound, a good argument. And remember, a sound argument tells us when we have good reason for believing something. So it's a key concept of what it is that's going to be rational for us to believe and how we're going to understand what a sound argument. And remember, we just reviewed it. A sound argument has two characteristics. Validity, notice it's a truth, what I might say it's a truth-preserving inference. That is, in a valid argument, if you start with truth, you end up with truth. So it preserves the truth of the premises, if they are true. And the second thing that you need in a sound argument is true premises. But this raises the question, or the question now rears its ugly head. And I think we want to go over this before proceeding looking at inferences. And the question is, what do we mean when we say something is true? Or what is truth? And the first question we should ask before and answer before we can even get to what do we mean when we say something's true is what kinds of things are true, or you might say are true and false. What sort of things? Well, think, before we move on, stop it for a second. Think, what kinds of things are true or false? What kinds of things are true or false? Well, let's look at how we use language or our different use of different kinds of sentences. Because initially what you might say is, gee, what's true or false? What somebody said. How does he say it? Using language, using a sentence. But let's look at a couple of different kinds of sentences that there are in English and in other languages. For members of our class who are bilingual, this might help. For example, here's a sentence. Did you eat? Or there's another kind of sentence. Eat your food. You know, your parents sometimes use that sentence. Or when you were younger, they used that sentence to get you to do something. Then you might have something like, oh my God. Another, then those are all sentences. I ate lunch, another sentence. Now the first one was what's called in English an interrogative, a question. And it's used, the use of that language or the use of that kind of sentence is to ask a question, to request, to solicit, to ask somebody to give a response to your question, to help you out with information. Now, the second kind of sentence is a command. It is an imperative sentence. It's used to give commands. And oh my God, we say, is an exclamatory expression. You might say it expresses an emotion. And finally, the fourth kind of sentence that we're looking at is a declarative sentence. And declarative sentences describe the way things are. I ate lunch. Now, we have these four different kinds of sentences. And the question now that we want to ask is, about which of these sorts of sentences would it make sense to say that one's true or that one's false? Does it make sense for an interrogative? Does it make sense for an imperative? Does it make sense for an exclamation? Does it make sense for a declaration? Well, the answer clearly is it's the declarative sentence. Did you eat? Is that true or false? No. You're asking a question. Eat your food. Is that true or false? What might be true is that you're going to be in some trouble. You're going to have some consequences if you don't eat it. But, or maybe it might be true that there are going to be no consequences if you don't eat your food. But eat your food is not true or false. It's somebody telling you what to do. Oh my God, is that true or false? No, but I ate lunch is true or false. If we're talking about today, I ate lunch. You know, it's true if I ate lunch, false if I didn't eat lunch. But that is what the kind of sentence that it makes sense to say that that thing is true or that thing is false. Okay, so let's just review now. Would it make sense to say that's true or that's false about did you eat? Questions? No. Eat your food about commands? No. Oh my God, about exclamations, expressing your emotions? No. I ate lunch, descriptions? Yes. That is the only one, the only type of sentence in which it makes sense to say of it that it is true, or if it's not true, that it is false. So declarative sentences can be true or false. And why? They can be true or false because of their use in the English language. How are they used in English? They're used in English because they're used to describe the way things are in the world. So once again, those, it looks like declarative sentences are the things that are true or false. Now let's think of some declarative sentences that are used to describe the way things are. Barack Obama is President of the United States. Well, that might have changed. Actually, it wouldn't have changed until January anyway. But that one, is either true or false, depending. Bruce Willis likes to wear stockings. Well, I don't think that doesn't. I don't know Bruce Willis, the movie star. But, he's supposed to be a macho guy, and usually macho guys don't wear stockings, but I don't know what goes on in the privacy of his home. Rihanna's music is great. Supposed to be describing the way the world is, right? Whether her music is great or not. Smoking causes cancer. Another declarative sentence, something else that can be true or false. God exists. That can be true or false. Now, we're trying to get to the question of, now since we know what kinds of things are true or false, what makes sentences, declarative sentences, sentences that are supposed to describe things, true or false?